Hello everybody, you're welcome back again to the Reggae Appreciation Society. Following the death of Bob Marley in 1981, there was a dark cloud of sadness cast over Jamaica as the island, and indeed the whole world, mourned the death of reggae's global ambassador. But amidst the gloom, a yellow light of brilliance began to brighten up the atmosphere. That light was none other than Yellowman, and by the end of that year, he would become the most popular recording artist in Jamaica, thanks to a blend of witty humor, dazzling wordplay, and often naughty lyrics. A year later, he practically set the world alight with his astounding marathon performance at the 1982 edition of the Reggae Sunsplash at Montego Bay that was beamed to viewers around the world and created a global superstar. The same way Bob Marley brought reggae to the world, Yellowman brought dancehall to the world's attention, and though not the originator, as that credit goes to the likes of Count Machuki and later U-Roy, Yellowman was the one on whose back a whole industry crystallized and the floodgates were opened for the likes of Shabba Ranks, Ninja Man, Shaggy and Supercat to attain international success. From the day he was born, he was faced with titanic struggles of albinism and growing up an orphan in a society that discriminated against people of his skin type. As a child, he resorted to singing to the bullies in his school and making them laugh to avoid getting beaten up. This trick grew into a musical talent and eventually molded him into the legend we know and love today. Let's take a look at Yellowman, the original king of the dance hall. He was born Winston Foster in Negro, Jamaica in 1956. He was abandoned by his mother, very likely on account of his skin color, as albinos faced a lot of discrimination in those days. He was moved around several orphanages, and by the time he was old enough, he was sent to the popular Alpha Boys School in Kingston, an institution run by Catholic nuns and renowned for its musical program. The Alpha Boys School boasts of many famous ex-students like Desmond Dekker, the Scatterlights, Leroy Horsemouth Wallace, and Apple of Israel Vibration. Growing up with albinism in those days was a big challenge, and young Winston suffered abuse and isolation while at school. It was really hard on him, but the negativity he endured developed his braggadocious persona and a quick-thinking musical mind that helped him sing his way out of beatdowns and into the good books of his former bullies. After leaving school, he started hustling to freestyle at various sound system dances across Kingston, but still faced discrimination and had to push extra hard to get on the microphone. Despite the resistance he faced, he began to develop a reputation for the ability to improvise lyrics in a continuous and seamless manner. He got his foot in the door when he began to work with the Black Sound International Discotheque sound system, and on his first show, the crowd booed him, but he persevered and eventually won them over. He was becoming a local phenomenon, but still largely faced rejection and was ignored by producers over his skin color. Instead of getting bitter, he infused jokes about his skin color into his lyrics and christened himself the Yellow Man. By the end of the decade, he would turn the tables by winning top prize at a famous talent contest. After asking to DJ one night at the popular Orange Street in Kingston, he caught the eye of Jamaican entertainment icon GT or George Taylor, who was a consultant organizer of the immensely popular Tasty Talent Contest. He encouraged Yellowman to take part in the competition, and in July 1979, Yellowman, wearing what would become his trademark yellow attire, stepped on stage and won the contest by a landslide with the song Barnabas Killing. His toasting talents, coupled with his humor and dynamic stagecraft, wowed the audience as well as the judges. He became an overnight star and got a gig as the resident DJ with Ace's nightclub in St. Thomas, Jamaica in 1980. He became known for his vulgar lyrics, or slackness as known in Jamaica, which is music replete with references to sex or violence. His first album, The Man Mad Over Me, was released in 1981 under Channel 1 Studios and pushed him even higher into the spotlight. The slackness in it was however criticized, with even Peter Tosh criticizing his music for being demeaning to women. He was good friends with Bob Marley and hung out often at Bob's home at number 56 Hope Road. In a recent interview, he said that he loved Bob's company, but that Bob's kids always give him a hard time. Ziggy and Steven in particular loved his style and would make him freestyle to them for hours. Sometimes he would tell Bob he had to leave before his kids got back from school or he would be in trouble. Bob would always laugh and find a way to delay him until the boys would return and run to Yellowman. His rise coincided with the cultural shift in Jamaica from roots reggae to dancehall, but roots reggae was still at the absolute strongest, with the likes of Bob Marley, Jimmy Cliff, and Peter Tosh at the top of their game. His debut album had been a strong local success, but when he partnered with pioneer dancehall producer Henry John Joe Laws for his next LP titled Mr. Yellowman, he rose to international prominence when it was released in 1982. He took dancehall to a whole new level and is credited with installing a smooth transition between the roots era and the new dancehall wave. The Mr. Yellowman album penetrated the US and UK markets, and he went on to release a string of singles and collaborative albums that also added to his star power. 1982 would end on a high as he gave a stellar performance at that year's Reggae Sunsplash, which has gone down as one of the most iconic in the history of the festival. His stagecraft, humor and flow swept the audience away and is one of the best known live reggae performances ever. It was packaged as Yellowman Live at Reggae Sunsplash, with the live album and video selling well all over the world. In fact, the first time I ever heard of Yellowman was when I watched a VHS tape of his performance at the Reggae Sunsplash as a kid. I was blown away and immediately began to look for his music. But despite the breakthrough in that year, he got some bad news with a diagnosis that he had cancer and was given 3 years to live. But after several surgery procedures, he was adjudged to be cured and continued on his career. If Mr. Yellowman brought him international recognition, his next album in 1983's Zungu Zung Zugu Zungu Zeng made him a household name all over the globe and caught the attention of CBS Records. CBS Records signed him the same year, and it was one for the history books, as it was the first time a reggae DJ was signed by a major international US record label. He released his next album, King Yellowman, in 1984 under Columbia Records. This album was another classic that had some of his most iconic songs like Jamaica Nice, Keep On Moving, Still Be a Lady, and Reggae Calypso. By the mid-1980s, it seemed like Yellowman could do no wrong, with every album a critical and commercial hit, like 1984's Nobody Move and 1985's Galong Galong, which was powered by the genius rhythm section of Sly and Robbie. He was then a big star, but also a very controversial figure, as many reggae fans and journalists took exception to his pornographic lyrics and slack subject matter. This led to a lot of his music getting banned in Jamaica. In 1986, and at the absolute top of his game, he was told again that the cancer, which was supposed to have been cured 4 years earlier, had spread to his jaw and throat. He was made to undergo surgery that removed part of his jaw to treat the disease, and that procedure left him disfigured. Many lesser men may have thrown in the towel, but Yellowman fought hard, and by 1987 he was back with 2 albums in Blueberry Hill and Yellow Like Cheese, which were well received in the market. He released 3 more albums that year and seemed to be back to his prolific form. By the late 1980s, however, his dominance had waned a little bit as there was a new generation of DJs, but he still recorded new material, kept touring and performing to sold-out concerts across the US, Japan and Europe. He carried that form into the new decade, but by the early 90s, he once again got some bad news. He was again diagnosed with cancer, this time skin cancer. This third case shook him to his core and sparked a shift in his approach to music. He moved away from slackness and devoted his talent to spiritual and socially conscious material. His 1994 album, Prayer, signaled his new direction and was followed by 1995's Message to the World, as well as 1997's Freedom of Speech. As the 90s unfolded, the road he had paved for future dancehall artists had opened the way for a new generation of superstar DJs to become global megastars. This new batch included Shabba Ranks, Shaggy, Mad Cobra and Supercat, who all enjoyed the international spotlight with international record deals with US record labels. After releasing 2003's New York album, he took a 16-year break from recording and focused on delivering live performances and touring. But he returned in 2019 with the album No More War, which was released on Yellow Baby Records, a label owned by his daughter Karima Foster. Today, Yellowman is enjoying semi-retirement as a senior citizen of dancehall and one who not only introduced the world to that form of music but also paved the way for future artists to follow and achieve unbelievable international success. So there you have it. Thank you for watching the video today. Please leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, God bless.